Framing is not that easy. Like, I bought this Infinity Gauntlet shirt, because I don't have any of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier merch yet. But now it's like barely in frame. I also don't have any Marvel mugs, so this will have to do. Oh my god, you guys, the season finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We've been building up to this all season, and it was so cool. There's so much to talk about, but I'll point out some of my personal highlights and try not to go on tangents, and this will probably not be in chronological order at all. Like, I took some notes about stuff that I want to talk about, but that did not help, like, at all. Just made me think of more things that I was super excited about. Spoiler warning, obviously. Why are you even here if you haven't seen the episode yet? Like, go watch that now. I'll still be here when you finish. That is how videos work. So, things are getting serious at the GRC, and as promised, Bucky's there to help Sam against the Flag Smashers. One of the small things I noticed was that one of the soldiers calls Bucky Sergeant Barnes, which is, like, way cooler and more respectful than that whole just calling him Bucky thing that John Walker did. Sharon has this cool face mask Black Widow had, and I guess she's no longer stuck in Mandrapur and kind of snuck into the States. One thing that made me so happy was when Sam said, "I am Captain America." Like, yes, finally! I'm so happy for him. Oh, and the callback to the Steve being on the moon theory was really funny, because, like, we don't know where Steve is, so he might as well be on the moon, or maybe a space station with Fury. They're just chillin' at virtual beaches or something. Enjoying his retirement, as he should. The action in this episode was amazing, but I didn't expect anything less from Marvel. I'm guessing we all guessed it, but Sam got his new wings. The Wakandan's design combining the Falcon and the Captain America costumes is so cool. And again, I love seeing the wings in action. I can't get enough of that. It's so much fun. Especially the scene on the bridge where he uses them and the shield to protect himself and that, was it police officer? That guy on the bridge. Also, Sam is not above swearing when someone deserves an ass whooping, and I think that's very charming. The whole helicopter scene was amazing. Like, looking inside to see if anyone there can pilot a helicopter is such a smart move. And Red Wing is back! I'm sorry, I'm like way too excited. Like, just remembering the episode makes me super excited. Like, almost as excited as when I was watching it. Okay, I need to calm down a bit. This is such a stupid thing, but like a small moment where like Bucky walks into the building and sets off one of the alarms because of his metal arm reminded me of an interview with Sebastian Stan where he joked that Bucky can't even walk through a metal detector. And like, yeah, he really can't. Also, shout out to the YouTube algorithm for supplying a steady stream of Marvel clips, edits, interviews, weird POV things. It's totally not fueling my Marvel obsession at all. I'm fine. I like that we got a conversation between Bucky and Carly, and I think when Bucky said he fell twice, he must mean number one in World War II, and then number two when he got snapped in Infinity War, right? Seeing Bucky save people was really nice. Like, it's such a small thing, but on the other hand, for him it's like something really big, because I think he kind of saw himself as the bad guy still, and remembering all those people he hurt, and now he can make amends. Also, did you guys see that superhero landing Bucky did? It was so cool! I can't be the only one who thinks that Bucky's real superpower is catching things, because anytime something flies towards him or just past him, he catches it. Like, dude must be great at dodgeball. I totally thought John Walker was going to go after the shield, just because he was so insistent that he's Captain America, and that's kind of why I hoped they would trash his shield. But, you know, he didn't go after them. The shield got trashed, though. And I could make a long metaphorical point or something, but I think I'm just gonna quote Frigga, Loki's and Thor's mom, who's like, everyone fails at what they're supposed to be. And then she says something about being a real hero. Not that I think that John Walker will be a hero necessarily, at least not to us, you know, the whole every villain is the hero of their own story thing. but I thought he would be more of an obstacle this episode, and he wasn't. Which is probably why this is the episode in which I hate him the least. Don't get me wrong, he's still a murderer, but he is less cocky, which helped me be less annoyed with him this episode. And we did actually get to see him save some people this episode, which is new. We hadn't seen him do that yet. Which is like basic requirement for Captain America, right? Or any superhero. But the moment in which he chooses if he should save the GRC people or go after the Flag Smashers was kind of tense. Because from what we've seen of him so far, I was pretty sure he wanted to get revenge. Well, more revenge. And even though he helped save those people, I still don't like him. That being said, I felt kind of bad when he was lying on the ground and the Flag Smashers were kicking at him. That was not cool. So Sharon is the power broker, and she was helping the Flag Smashers cause unrest, but she was also after them, and that's kind of confusing. Wasn't she like sabotaging herself? Maybe to keep her cover? It's confusing. I'm not 100% clear on her motives. And I know I'm repeating myself, but what the hell is Sharon up to? Like, we see her get pardoned and then she makes that very suspicious phone call. Like, Marvel is so good at setting up the next things. My curiosity is killing me. But yeah, Sharon's an evil mastermind now. Somehow. I'd like to know how she got to that point, because she said she had to hustle to survive, and that's fine, but there's a difference between hustling and becoming like the leader of a international crime network type thing or whatever. It's cool that they gave her more of a role than just Peggy Carter's niece or Steve's love interest, which, by the way, is kind of weird, right? Like, if I dated someone and then they started dating like my sister's child, I don't know how I would feel about that. It just seems odd. Like, aside from all the shipping Steve Rogers with other characters thing, that is still kind of weird, right? Carly's death scene and Sam carrying her like angelically to the ambulance was really touching. Also, the speech he gave was just inspiring. Like, standing up for people who can't do it for themselves and being inspirational. That's Captain America written all over it. And I love Bucky's quip where he's like, sorry, I was texting, so all I heard was black guy and stars and stripes. Like, their banter is so fun, and this goes for the entire series. Bucky's attitude is just awesome. Bucky can be such a brooding and serious character that the, like, quips and jokes not only show that he can have a sense of humor, but they also lighten the mood, which sometimes is really necessary. Like the, who are you fighting now? Gandalf? Or looking strong, John? Or I don't fly, man, that's your thing, that he said to Sam this episode. Like, it's brilliant. Ooh, also his line to Sharon that, like, depends on the therapist. Like, that was good. That made me chuckle as well. There are more, but let's move on. But, like, Sam and Bucky really have become friends. Like, Bucky giving Sam a pat on the back saying, nice job, Cap. That was really sweet. The scene where Bucky goes to Mr. Nakajima is really sad, but it shows us that Bucky no longer thinks he's solely responsible for what he did. Like, he sees that he was forced to do it. And the fact that he finishes the book, it's such a great moment because it gives him some closure. And look how happy he looks when he's visiting Sam. Like, he's doing so much better. He could finally start healing from his past, and that is because of Sam's advice. And I guess also his therapist's to a certain extent. The thank you note he sent her was a nice touch, though I couldn't help but think that it was sarcastic. But that's probably just because in my mind, Bucky's really snarky. But also, she was kind of mean to him. I mean, I guess you can call it tough love, but I didn't like the notebook thing. It reminded me too much of that code words to activate the Winter Soldier notebook thing, you know what I mean? And I'm just thinking that might be a trigger for him, and clearly he doesn't like it when she does that. But I guess she forced Bucky and Sam to sit down together and made them talk, so she gets points for that. Also the rules, they make sense. I like the rules. The museum scene with Isaiah really hit me. Like, a story is finally being told, and Sam made sure that it was being told, standing up for people and giving them a voice. Good move. Good move, Cap. Also, there's a clear parallel to the beginning, when he first goes there and gives up the shield, and now he returns having claimed it as his own. And I can't help but think that if there had been an exhibition about Isaiah and him being a hero, Sam might not have been as reluctant to take the shield, and making sure his story is being told is a good step, because there are future superheroes to come, and they might be inspired, and that's really great. We get a wholesome ending of Sam and Bucky looking off into the sunset, presumably thinking about Steve and all the stuff they've been through together. Too kitschy? That's fair. But really, these two guys had like 2 sincere conversations, and that is counting the one they were forced to have by the therapist. But they went through some stuff together, and they bonded, and that's really nice to see. Good for them. And the end logo change from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Not Captain America and the White Wolf, but I'll take it. But for real, I was so excited to see the logo, because I was pretty sure, and I think social media and the entire internet is pretty sure, that we will get more Captain America content to obsess over. I just love these characters. Zemo's still in prison, tying up the plot's loose ends. It's very impressive. Which reminds me, Val says our friend Zemo, and I'm not 100% sure if that's just like a figure of speech or if she actually knows him and they've worked together before or something. Right, and we get introduced to the US agent. So John Walker will stick around and work for Val's secret boss agency type thing. Whatever it will be, I don't know. Lots to be excited about, but I'm also really sad that the series is over. Like, yeah, we'll see the characters again, but this type of show format really allows us to spend some time with them and get to know them, and also for the characters to develop. And I will miss watching the show every week. Like, binging is all good and fine, but the excitement and waiting for the new episode each week really was something. Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie are 2 of my favorite actors now, because they're just so much fun to watch and the dynamic is fantastic. I'll miss being obsessed with this show. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited for Loki, and it will probably be my next obsession once it comes out, but I just really love the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I'll miss it so much, and I just love this show. And before I keep rambling on even more, I think I'm done now. Didn't even finish my tea this time, like damn. The Falcon, the Winter Soldier now lives in my head rent-free, but I honestly don't mind. I'm still freaking hyped, but also sad, and it's a confusing mix of emotions. That's it, that's the video. See you guys next time.